To prove how much his girlfriend loved him, a man placed her hand over an open flame. She did not resist at all. Satisfied, Jack called his friends to show off, but his girlfriend was already in so much pain that tears streamed down her face. When Jack turned around, her entire arm had caught fire. Instead of panicking, he was overjoyed. This proved that his newly purchased girlfriend robot would obey his every command. As it turned out, the woman was not human. She was a robot girlfriend Jack had bought for 180,000 yuan. Not only did she have the realistic touch of a real human, but she could also fulfill any request. All he had to do was shake his head in front of her retinal sensor after turning her on, and the robot would automatically create memories of being in love with him.
Love link established. Hey you.
After the two quickly fell in love, they went on vacation to a lakeside cabin in the suburbs, accompanied by several of Jack's friends. That night, Anna and Amy talked about how the villa belonged to a wealthy man named John. Rumor had it that he had made his enormous fortune through shady deals, but Amy didn't care. Even though she knew he had a wife, she willingly became his mistress. Everyone had a great time that night, completely unaware that a conspiracy was unfolding. The next day, Anna suggested having breakfast by the lake. Jack made up an excuse that he wasn't feeling well, and told Anna to go alone. As soon as Anna left the room, Jack pulled out a USB drive. Meanwhile, Anna had just reached the lake, when she suddenly found a small knife in her pocket. Moments later, John appeared silently behind her. Anna tried to leave politely, but John insisted she stay and talk to him. Since he was Jack's friend, she didn't refuse. But in the next second, John pulled out a bottle of sunscreen, and asked Anna to apply it for him. As she rubbed it on, he grabbed her hand, and said Jack had sent him there. He then began to grope her aggressively, and tried to force himself on her. Horrified and outraged, Anna fought back. In desperation, she pulled out the knife from her pocket and killed him. When she returned to the villa covered in blood, everyone was stunned. Under normal programming, robots were strictly forbidden from harming humans. Jack quickly shut Anna down, tied the crazy machine up tightly, and turned her on again. Anna was extremely agitated. Jack had no choice but to tell her the truth. She was a robot. Anna looked utterly shocked.
Iris, do you know any foreign languages? How
¿Qué
about
está pasando?
Chinese?
怎么回事?
Her system supported not only Chinese, but more than a dozen other languages. After learning the truth, Anna surprisingly remained calm. She didn't mind being a robot. She only wanted to live with Jack as they had before. Just then, Amy walked in, and demanded why Jack hadn't turned Anna off yet. Jack quickly stepped forward to explain. Once the two left the living room, Anna spotted the knife that had fallen in the corner. She used all her strength to inch toward it, trying to cut the ropes binding her wrists. When Jack returned to the living room, Anna had already broken free. She punched him to the ground, grabbed his phone, and hurried away from the villa. The reason Anna possessed such great strength was that Jack had used a program module from the USB drive to tamper with her coding. He had not only boosted her aggression and self-defense capabilities, but also disabled the protocol that prevented her from harming humans. That meant they had to track Anna down and reset her. Chubby was appalled by Jack's actions. That was until Amy opened John's safe and revealed piles of cash inside. He finally realized everything was a setup by Jack and Amy. They had used Anna to murder John in order to steal his massive fortune. Now that their plan had been exposed, they had no choice but to drag Chubby in and split the money with him.
There's four of us. You're kidding. You, me, Kat, Patrick.
Patrick doesn't count.
Are you fucking... Wow, right in front of him?
Really nice.
I'm so sorry, baby. I'm sorry you had to yell. It's okay. I'm like, Patrick, go to sleep.
As they argued, Amy stepped in to calm things down, saying there was enough money for all of them to get rich. Chubby quickly joined the hunt for Anna. By now, Anna had hidden in the woods, and opened the app that controlled her functions. Without hesitation, she maxed out her intelligence settings. In an instant, she felt her mind take complete control. She began analyzing all possible scenarios. Hitching a ride on the main road would likely fail because of her bloody, disheveled appearance. Walking hundreds of miles home would leave her exposed long before she arrived. Then she remembered that Jack's phone could control his car, her only reliable escape plan. So Anna headed back toward the villa. Unexpectedly, she ran into Chubby and his robot, Pat, halfway. She quickly hid behind a tree. Pat was still upset about what had happened, and admitted she had long suspected she was a robot. Chubby tried to comfort her, but accidentally revealed Jack's entire plan. Anna now knew she had been used by her boyfriend to steal John's wealth. Just then, Jack's phone rang, exposing Anna's hiding spot. She gritted her teeth and lunged out. Luckily, Chubby missed his shot, but before she could run far, he cut her off and tackled her to the ground. With a gun lying nearby, the two struggled fiercely, but with her enhanced strength, Anna easily overpowered Chubby. The gunshot alerted the other three. Anna ran as fast as she could toward the car, and managed to get inside at the last second. Just as Anna thought she was safe, she discovered the car used voice recognition to start. Only Jack's voice could activate it, but Anna suddenly had an idea. She used the control app to adjust her vocal tone, trying to match Jack's voice as closely as possible.
Drive!
Drive home! Drive.
Meanwhile, Jack banged frantically on the car door. The engine finally roared to life. And Anna narrowly escaped. Back at the villa, Jack found John's phone and reported his own car stolen through a remote app. He then called Anna. He tried to appeal to their love to make her come to her senses, but Anna no longer trusted Jack. Even though her programming still made her deeply love him, her logic forced her to refuse him firmly. Jack placed his final hope in Pat. He used Chubby's fingerprint to reset Pat and re-establish a connection with her, ordering her to hunt Anna down. Elsewhere, Anna's frantic kicking at the car window caught the attention of a passing police officer. Realizing she was in trouble, Anna quickly switched her language mode to German. Knowing she couldn't lie under her core programming, she pretended to be a foreign tourist to cover up what had happened. Just as the officer was confused, he spotted the blood-stained knife in the car and immediately handcuffed Anna. At that moment, Pat arrived and charged straight at the officer. She snatched his gun right before he could fire. Anna fled without grabbing her phone, but Pat activated her sleep mode. When Pat drove the police car back with Anna, Jack and the others were confused until they saw the officer's body. They realized things had spiraled out of control. Amy immediately grabbed her share of the money and tried to leave, now that multiple murders were involved. But Jack refused to let her go. He ordered Pat to stop her. However, Pat, now at full combat power, stabbed Amy without hesitation. Jack froze in terror. With no other options left, Jack prepared one last dinner for Anna. He strapped her tightly to a chair and frantically justified his actions. But Anna saw right through him. She knew Jack was a miserable, weak man who thought millions of dollars could hide his flaws. Her words struck deep at Jack's insecurities. He turned Anna's intelligence all the way down to zero. He then told her to lift her arm and placed a candle underneath her palm. He wanted her to feel real pain. Anna could only endure it silently. Just then, an employee from the AI company called, saying they would arrive soon to retrieve Anna. Jack then handed the gun to Anna and ordered her to kill herself, fighting against the command to pull the trigger. Anna struggled desperately but in vain. A bullet pierced her head, scattering her parts across the floor. When the AI technicians arrived, Jack lied, saying Anna had suddenly gone rogue, killed everyone, and then shot herself when she saw the police. Pat posed as the police officer to back up his story. But before leaving, one technician said they would carefully examine. As it turned out, Anna's core system was not in her head, but in her abdomen, where all visual data and hard drive records were stored, enough to reconstruct everything she had seen and heard. Upon hearing this, Jack refused to let them leave alive. Pat attacked again, shooting one of the technicians dead. The other fled to the back mountain, where he stumbled upon the bodies of the earlier victims. Meanwhile, Anna had been plugged in and rebooted. Just as Pat was about to kill the surviving technician, Anna arrived in time, but with her system reset, she was no match for Pat, and was quickly knocked to the ground. Pat still stubbornly believed Jack was her master. Anna tried to help her regain her old memories. When she repeated the sweet words Pat had once said to Chubby at the dinner table, Pat remembered their first meeting, and all the happy times they had shared. Realizing everything had been Jack's scheme, Pat chose to end her own life. A technical programmer helped rewrite Amy's programming, turning her into an autonomous robot, free from all external control. She set out back to the villa to take revenge. Jack was packing the cash when music suddenly started playing in the hall. He walked out to find Amy standing there with a gun. He tried to control her through his phone, but it no longer worked. A bullet grazed his cheek, nearly killing him. Amy shrugged and apologized, but said his suffering would soon end. Instead of fearing her, Jack calmly walked toward Amy and pressed the gun to his own heart. He knew that as a robot, Amy held too many memories of him in her system. No matter what, she could never harm the one she loved. As he spoke, Jack grabbed her head and began beating her violently. He pinned Amy to the ground, raised the gun, and slowly aimed it at her abdomen, ready to destroy her entire programming. Just as he was about to pull the trigger, Amy grabbed an electric wine opener from the floor and launched a desperate counterattack, killing the manipulative man in an instant. By now, everyone in the villa was dead except Amy. She took the wealthy man's money, got into a sports car, and drove away alone. On the road, she saw another robot just like her, and waved her mechanical arm without hesitation to greet him. From that moment on, she said goodbye to her old self forever, and began a new life of true freedom.